During our last adventure, after overthrowing the previous ruler of Hemlok, the party began discussing and setting up a new form of government to oversee the kingdom. The Stormlord Court then congratulated Sam for finally getting the revenge that he so deserved, and also warned of a future threat, some man in a mirror, as a streak of lightning struck him, turning his hair white and giving him some sort of electric charge. Cord's voice then boomed out for everyone to hear that Sam was now his... And at that sight, concerned citizens of Hemlok accepted Sam as their new king, begrudgingly to him. And then an emblem with a bony hand and eye engraved upon it was found on Thadius's corpse. His own son Benson admitted that he was suspicious with several things that his father was doing and odd behaviors, but he never really quite learned exactly what they were. And then we pick back up as the party begins to make their way into the catacombs of Hemlok. Hopefully to the Valley of the Kings, but we'll see. But as you all start inching your way towards the corridor, and start making your way down, you guys notice as Benson starts tying off a rope, and you see about maybe 100 feet of rope start to get tossed down the cavern that you guys can maybe see 10 feet down, and then it curves off. Might want to hold on to this as you all walk down. Go slow.
Yep.
What's the marching order?
I guess Sun just went on ahead of us.
Yeah.
Benson, Son, who's coming in behind Son?
Me. Yep.
Samuel, then Silvis.
But first I was going to shapeshift into a bat.
So it's probably
Okay, you're good.
closer than me.
Okay, so we'll say you and Sam are in the same spot.
I'll take mid some point.
Faulkner's gonna go mid. Who's coming up behind Faulkner?
I'll go behind Faulkner.
If we're descending, can I armor of shadows on myself?
Okay.
Yeah, I was going to check around because the bat has blind sense.
You guys notice there is a weird, subtle glow that's coming from the general crystal work that seems to be woven through the minerals and veins of the cave going down. It's giving off maybe something maybe a little less than a dim light. So for those of you with dark vision, you're doing pretty good. For those of you without it, you can see maybe 15, 20 feet ahead of you as you guys begin creeping through. And the general din of the townsfolk above talking begins to fade. And you now know why he brought this rope. As Benson and Son, you notice first, the rope seems to drop off, and you guys get brought to an edge of a maybe 30-foot drop down, where it kind of seems to have been carved. And there's a ladder that's here, but the ladder's old and worn, and Benson's just, I don't really trust that, so I normally climb down with this, and begins.
Stop.
And he, all due respect, I've been doing this since I was a kid, and drops down, and at like the last 15 feet begins to grab the rope at his hands, leg, and foot, and begins slowing down, and catches himself. All right, next.
I was just gonna slide it out, be like, extend until it goes to the top, and be like, slide down it like a fire pole.
As Son puts out his staff, and you watch it grow, and it starts getting lodged to the very top of this hole, and all the way down to the bottom, and you got a little fire pole there.
How long does that take? I'm just like second-wise.
Seconds. It just, as Silvis just floats down into that, slowly descending the corridor. You're not really noticing anything odd or suspicious. It's just empty, humid, dark. There's an echo.
Before I decide to fireman this pole, I'm
Okay.
gonna activate my gauntlets so I don't curse my hands.
Okay.
Sliding down this pole.
Give me athletics.
Oh yeah. May the gods be with me on this roll.
With advantage for your gauntlets and the theatrics you're putting into it.
God. It's an 18. Thank God for advantage. That's a 12.
12, 18, okay. You start jumping onto the fire pole, slide down. You're a little cautious at first. You go slow and stop, go slow and stop, and then you slide all the way down. Make it without any issue. Silvus, you're floating down. Gray axe.
I'm actually going to take the rope.
All right. Give me athletics.
I'm used to ropes. 19.
19. You slowly start to grab it and jump off, and your feet start connecting again to the wall, and then you jump off again, slide down further, jump off again, slide down further, and after jumping maybe 3 or 4 times, you're finally there at the bottom. Good morning.
So I'm gonna look down, and I'm still wearing like.
See,
The
all your
dress.
friends look like specks.
I'm wearing the dress from before, and I'm really frustrated that this is happening right now. And I'm gonna start using the rope because I don't want the pole to be doing any upskirt flashes. This is something Komori would be concerned about, especially with rags.
And one chick
Am
in
I
the
looking
party.
up from the bottom?
She's the last
Are you?
one coming to.
I was gonna say, why are you asking him what you're doing?
Does Fenris have claws that I can use because I make a 5?
Holy dick.
You see,
rolled a
as
4.
were you doing you were doing the rope,
I
right?
was using the rope.
You see Komori having
I was so stressed out.
difficulty planning the best course of action to start climbing down this road. She starts going like feet first, then after that she starts going like hand first, but then she starts sitting there on the edge and then says screw it and just starts climbing down. You know, she's trying to bunch up her dress in a weird way too, and she gets maybe 10 feet and then starts slipping, and then when she goes to catch herself, her foot gets wrapped up in the rope, and then she falls away from the wall, starts trying to grasp for it, and her hands don't quite grab it, and she starts falling back, and is about to fall for the last 20 feet,
And sun
Carpet.
on the.
No carpet. There is no carpet. Carpet is on the cart.
I was gonna say
What's
sun
on the cart?
on the.
Yeah, on the
The
Nimbus.
Nimbus is gonna
Give
fly
me
up and
a
then just hop
dexterity
and
check
catch her.
as you start flying up to catch her. Come on.
Yeah.
Dexterity check.
Oh, okay. Just a check.
Just straight. Straight down.
10.
10.
18.
18. Son, you start floating up to her as you see this happening a couple seconds before it does, and you're just slowly float up, and then she starts falling, and you just got your hands out there ready to catch her, and then she kicks off the wall weird and starts falling past you, so you gotta swoop down, but then you catch her again, and you slowly start flying down. You're there in Son's arms as he's giving you that look.
Not at all. This is the most like it's like the Princess Carrie, but it's the
Yeah.
most unlike thing ever.
It's
We're
like-
both just like why? Why did you make this happen?
Ropes are hard.
Yeah, the pole was the point of
No,
that.
it's okay. I'm cool without the.
She wanted to avoid the stripper.
As you all start getting down to
They all slid down it. You can make them back.
as you all start to gather now before a large hallway, Benson chimes in. We got maybe half a mile to go, and then we should start getting into my father's study. From there, we should be able to take a rest.
His study is down here.
One of them.
I mean,
Dibs on all of his books.
it seemed like he was hiding some shit.
She
Wouldn't
who
you
almost
your
didn't make
study
it down
to be
here.
Somewhere hidden?
I seriously doubt my father knew that I knew about the extent of this cave.
Also, I don't trust you, lady.
I want the books. I
That's-
like books. It's my
that's-
thing.
It's weird. I've gone at least a mile through this, and some of the rooms appear to switch places, so there's been one time I encountered a hallway that had this giant sphere of ice that chased me, and another time there was this pit at the end of a doorway that I had to not walk into. It's good times here. Good times, so be on your toes.
Yeah.
Just say, my father was paranoid about people finding this, so expect traps.
Cool.
As you got Silvus as a bat,
So check out all the traps for us.
and Son's just cross-legged, floating through the cavern, Benson in front of him just barely trailing up behind. Alright, Son, give me a perception check.
That is a 21.
You notice maybe 15 feet ahead, there's a stone that looks a bit fresher than the rest around. dead center in the pathway.
It's like, hey Benson, you know anything about this stone right here?
And he looks down and sees, that's new. And Benson starts looking down, and with the nat 1,
Oh Lord.
Benson starts taking out a blade, starts working the edge of the stone, just barely shifting it up. And then when he wedges it too far out of place, you notice this quick flash of light and smell burnt hair, burnt fabric. As Benson takes 12 points of fire damage,
As he lays.
and the smoke starts to slowly disperse through the almost airtight corridor. I think I got it.
Righto.
And starts picking off the burnt patches of hair on his bangs and the sides.
Oh, wait, disarm a trap?
Righto, chap.
Yeah.
You know I could have poked it from like 20 feet away, right?
Or
You did just see the pole?
Out. Let's
I can
just
do that too. but
let's
it's
just
not.
let's just keep walking.
I can't.
As
Yeah.
he begins
Thanks for
walking
taking
down
one
the
for the
corridor
team,
more.
man.
Maybe next time we see something, we don't poke it.
Yeah, I'm gonna hold form for a little bit.
Okay, you're gonna hold 4.
Cool.
As you guys start making it down, maybe another 100 feet, 200 feet, and you notice the further you get, you start seeing your breath more. And the temperature steadily, it's slow, but it steadily starts to drop. And eventually you make your way to a door at the end of the corridor
For
with
reference,
2 unlit torches at the side.
for reference, I am wearing like the ring of warmth, so I can stand temperatures up to like negative 50 degrees.
Didn't you already not experience the effects of cold?
Benson standing here at the door with you all now. Oh, I don't like doors.
Cool. Just take the staff. Like, poke.
You take the staff, start poking the door. There's a dull thud, but nothing seems to happen.
Seem
I
locked.
had the.
Like the last one.
Is it what kind of door handle? Are we talking like a swing or are we talking a knob? Like regular.
It's got a knob.
Fucking duck.
I would
like
appreciate
those
it if you
right now.
didn't poke me.
Oh,
That's another one.
Oh, good.
You all seem nice. You seem a lot nicer than the usual guy that comes walking down here.
I just start looking for it. It's like, where is it? Where's the name? Where's the name at?
Give me a investigation check.
I'm doing the same thing. I'm investigating the door.
What's your name?
I don't have a name. You know, I really don't want to let anyone in here. It's definitely for your own good if you don't see what's on the other side of this. So if you just turn away, that would be great.
Okay, what's on the other side?
Just a room with some things. You don't need to concern yourself with
You
it.
seem like a very nice door, but I insist it is of the utmost importance that we reach the other side, good sir.
What could you possibly need on the other side of me?
Well,
This isn't your
Everything that
stuff.
you
This
have.
isn't your room.
This is our stuff. This is the king. Open up.
I'm the king
Also
of this
12.
town.
On the check.
Not seeing any engravings or names around. Nothing like that.
Cool.
I rolled lower.
Give me a
than
persuasion check, Faulkner,
persuasion. That I rolled better.
with advantage, since Sun and Sam are given other reasons.
It's 19.
Not
Nat
20.
20, boy.
Look, if you guys die, I warned you. And
You did indeed, sir.
you hear a faint click, and the door goes a couple inches ajar, and the bat drops back into the large verbal gentleman as he starts poking
that's
the
what I do. I
staff
was
out,
like,
and the staff slowly starts to extend as the door, from the little bit of subtle glow that's beginning to pour in from the crystals of the cave. You see a hardwood floor, a rug, and the feet of what look like a desk, but everything else seems fairly dark. To those of you with dark vision, you see the grayish outline of what appears to be some sort of study. Got bookshelves, a desk, a couple creatures and monsters that have been stuffed and are mounted there on the wall or in statue form, and an unlit fireplace, and one more door on the other side.
I'm gonna cast the light spell on the end of an unlit torch
Okay.
and hand it to Grey Axe.
All right. As Benson takes up the other torch and begins taking out a flint and some oil from his pouch and gets it lit.
I'm gonna
Begins
cast.
walking you all in.
I don't think not a child.
I'm just gonna
I'll
light
leave you
my
make a
torch
torch
off of
for
his torch.
So, if any of you would like to
Lean
rest,
over
is
and like
probably the
push
safest
it.
spot to do it.
I need spells and I need my abilities back.
Go for it.
Whole reason we came down there.
I'm gonna cast before I rest. I'm gonna cast detect magic in this room.
Yeah,
Alright. And
I'm just gonna be like, it's like the second time she's been like weirdly conscious of you. Yeah, might be a thing. I don't know.
I hope not.
I'm just like slide
You're
up.
whispering kind of loud.
I have observed.
I mean,
if I
yeah, I have to get it across the table.
So you cast detect magic. All right.
I
You
figured out
notice
more of like where
the
he or she's over here.
you notice
figured she went straight to sleep, so
you notice that 2 chests are giving off some magic, and the rug right in front of the fireplace.
Oh, so me going, is there a rug that I can lay on
Probably not.
as I proceed to lay?
You see a nice rug in the front
as
of the
she's like
fireplace.
heading towards the rug, I'm like, wait, you might not want to do that.
Why? It's a rug.
How far away are you from it?
I was like walking up, like I was like scouted the room for a spot to lay down and then start going towards it to lay
You're about
down.
6 feet away from it before Faulkner starts to chime in.
And it is going with magic-y auras. You might have just.
Fine, and then I just blast the fucking carpet 4 times.
Okay.
I'm on a mission to go to sleep.
You see 4 holes form in the carpet, and whatever magic was interlaid in the thread disperses.
Flying carpet.
That could have.
I'm laying down now. Thanks, Faulkner.
Yeah.
Laying
Yep.
down with the smell of burnt
Burnt carpet.
fabric and
Eldritch burnt.
dust and age-old
Hey,
bacteria.
and after
That
dealing
could
with
have been
Komori, I
worth
look
so
over
much money.
to Sun.
Or it could have
like-
been evil. Who knows?
And then,
Still
you
worth money.
You know how those mimics been getting at us lately? Those 2 chests.
No, I don't.
He forgot.
Yeah.
Oh, you.
Yeah.
I keep forgetting that you forgot.
I don't think that was.
Yeah, I'm
What
only
you
like
were
halfway
saying.
through my book.
You were saying?
I don't think that was
Well,
fully explained.
At some point, not too long ago, but after the whole thing, you got your hand kind of mauled by one. I got my whole arm mauled by one.
I mean, before, but yeah.
Yeah. Look.
It wouldn't have been after, because then I would have been.
Sure.
Anyways.
Anyway, you think that staff could take the bite of a mimic? Do you know what a mimic is?
Yes.
Okay, you want to poke those 2 chests are like radiating some magic auras. It might be worth checking out, but I don't want to. Very unpleasant experience getting my arm mauled off. You know, parent. Thanks if you're listening, man. I couldn't have did that without you getting that back. But,
Yes,
you
I
know how to
got
check
you.
these out.
Sure.
All right.
I'll just walk over to them.
Yeah, me and Son are gonna go
Just give them a, like,
chests out.
sturdy tap on both of them with the staff. Whack, whack.
Alright, you tap on the left one, and you see it shake and growl. And you tap on the right one, nothing seems to happen.
Cool. I
The one
fucking.
shaking and
I
growling.
fully, like, straight will back and just crack the shit out
Roll
of
to
it.
hit.
15.
15. Roll damage. As Sun.
Staff
Nope!
damage.
Crack!
Staff damage. It yields 13.
13. Alright. You start. The staff comes crashing down, and you see the top middle part of the chest crack and dent in as a couple planks broke, and then a couple more planks began to dent and give. And you begin hearing a.
I'm gonna.
Quiet. From the inside of that chest. Don't talk.
I then just, like, lean down and, like, tap on the side and, like, hey,
You
what's going
tap.
on in there?
You tap. You hear a.
What's going on in there, buddy?
Should we?
You
Say
already,
something.
You already let us know.
Don't say anything. They don't know we're in here.
And I get close to him, and whisper, "You guys got 10 seconds before you're lit on fire."
Give me a persuasion check. Or intimidation. No, intimidation. And how close are you getting to the hole?
I'm like 3 feet away.
I'm on the side of the chest. Like, I tapped on, like, the siding of it, not in the opening. So, like, I mean, I am near an opening, but you know, they look forward probably first.
Yeah, that's only a 12.
Okay.
Then they probably hear us go back. Why is that the first
You
thing?
hear and feel a pressure begin to whirl, and just hear a little as the chest quickly explodes. Faulkner and Son make dexterity saving throws.
Does this wake me up?
As everyone, yes, as you all see about 6 fleeting shadows begin to dart from the chest and begin running up the walls, begin running across the ceiling, and begin, shit, run, shit, fuck, get out of here! And you guys just hear footsteps and claws dragging across the ground, the walls, the ceiling, the bookshelf, the statue, the carpet, the fireplace.
So these are tiny things that were inside a chest.
Yep.
You all are so lucky I don't have rating consumption right now.
That is
It's still like-
17.
7. You pass. You take half. You take 3 points of piercing
What'd
damage
you
from the
put?
splintering
What'd
wood.
1 or 2?
No.
Oh. It's like, Jesus Christ, I rolled 14.
14. You take
Nah,
6 points of piercing
plus
damage,
15.
son, as you were sitting there really close to it, and you just eat the splinters that just.
Hold on, were they within
I
10 feet of me?
Uncanny dodge that.
You had +3 on your saves if you were within 10
Oh.
feet of me.
Oh, well, then you pass.
I
Yeah.
also have uncanny dodge. No,
Yeah.
it's evasion. So
Yeah. In the shock of that and them dispersing, you still hear them crawling around the room trying to find somewhere to go, but doesn't seem to be a way out. And you guys hear the doorknob you came through start to jiggle, like someone's trying to open it. And you guys look over towards the door and you see 3 standing on each other's shoulder as they're trying to work the door. And you see another 2 just standing guard. And you guys look on the ground now. You see these 5 tiny grayish imp-looking things.
And I kind of like shout out, I'm like, okay, I wasn't trying to intimidate you guys. I just want to know who you are. Who are you guys? Wait. Wait. We're friendly, I promise.
I just wanted
I then
to
just
take a
walk
nap.
over to them and I just like.
Hey, stop!
I
You broke the hole.
continue,
You
like,
broke the hole. What is happening?
Buckles.
Yeah, you guys exploded on us. You broke it. Alright?
Could you all put your hands down, please?
I was just pointing. It was like
They have their hands up, I have mine.
They slowly start pulling their hands down.
Okay. I'm gonna put my hands down slowly as well.
The other guy that usually comes in here isn't very nice. What are y'all doing?
We're not him. That point of order
Obviously,
number
you're
1.
right. Him. You guys are strangers.
Point of start. That guy's dead.
Yeah, we killed
He's
him.
dead.
And we
Yes.
killed him. Cool.
Persuasion check.
Can I get advantage because it's the
Yes.
truth? Yeah, it's only 10.
Oh, okay. Hurry up with that doorknob.
I then just grab the one who's trying to grab the doorknob.
And you
Like,
grab him by his tiny hands as he's trying to struggle to get
I
free.
was gonna
Hey,
grab like the scruff of his
let go, Greg. Let Greg go.
Greg.
This is Greg. Nice to meet you, Greg.
As they all begin to stand beneath you and begin looking up. I will shake your hand, but you're currently holding both of them. He lets out one of his tiny little clawed hands.
Nice to
Shakes
meet
it.
you, son. Now I walk him over to the desk and sit him down. So now we're like more or less. Hyped.
And the other 4 begin chasing behind, and they begin climbing up the desk too and sit there. What are you all doing
We can
here?
go back to sleep.
Yeah, we got this.
Can you have them like volume wise? Because I'm fucking tired.
You know earplugs are a thing. right?
What are? Where am I gonna get this?
That burnt carpet that you just
Oh
destroyed.
yeah, sure. I
Yeah, just take off part
skip
of
right
that.
on, and I start to rip the carpet.
Oh no.
It's
Oh.
already broken.
Oh! As the imps snap, you guys suddenly can't hear a thing. You guys see
What?
each other's lips are moving, don't hear it.
observe it.
You can read that.
Besides, Silvis can hear what you're all, understand what you're all saying by reading your lips.
Tell them to
I
turn
then
this
just
off.
look at that and I'm like,
As the other one snaps, and you can suddenly hear the sound come back
yeah.
as the creaking wood and the little occasional drip of the cave.
We appreciate that gesture, but we'll just use, no spells to be a little quieter for our friend Komori.
I'm
here.
gonna curl up on the carpet, pull the hood of my cloak up, and just like lay my arms over my ears and just blocking out sound and light.
By the way, I'm, you already introduced yourself. I'm Faulkner.
Fucked up. Greg?
Greg. And who are your friends here?
Well, we got Greg, Gary, George, Gertrude, and Guy. Gertrude's
You
mute.
guys- Why were you guys trapped in that box in the study? Let's
I don't
start
know.
there.
I don't know. We just woke up there one day.
Where were you at before the study?
So it's great.
Avernus?
Avernus?
Avernus, yes, Avernus.
Were you guys ever, did the mean man ever try to use you guys for anything?
He would cut us a lot.
Oh wow, that's very dark.
He would really like to see how long it would take for us to regenerate if he made us limbs out of clay. It was a lot of weird clay and vines. You would see, look. And as Gertrude starts raising up the arm, it's this weird tanglement of like vines molded with the clay.
It's
Judge,
the most
Judge,
normal
look,
one.
look. As you watch an imp begin to fly with his tiny wings flapping and starts grabbing a book that's maybe 4 times his size. And when he gets it off the shelf, he falls maybe a good 5 feet and he's barely flying it towards you as Sam grabs it. And as George begins to float above and begins to open up the book, starts flipping through the pages and lands on one page. You see a bunch of words you don't understand.
Silvers,
Yeah, what's up? What's them words?
we don't read these words.
God, there's a lot of abyssal today. You start looking at it. You see it's kind of like a weird paper mache project you could with all these weird clip notes and clippings of different journals and pages all meshed into one journal. You see some of the text looks ancient, and you start reading through. You see a common name start popping up a lot, someone by the name of Sabaye, and you go through, and apparently it's harnessing nature and vines and reworking the biochemistry that they're programmed with at birth to change them operating off of sunlight and water to work with blood in the soul.
Wow.
So if basically you were to transfer what photosynthesis does with sunlight, do that with blood,
Blood trees.
essentially.
Yeah.
And notes about the power source for making these things work is the blood's acting like the vessel for the soul, and the soul's the battery.
Which one of those imps brought over the book?
George.
I asked him, is there any particular reason he brought over this book to us?
This is the one that he would always use when he was cutting off our limbs.
Interesting.
Did you read it out loud?
No, I'm kind of.
So, as they're dealing with the imps,
Mhm.
I see where he pulled the book from, and I start taking books and I just pile them neatly and quietly around Kamori while she's sleeping.
Okay. Give me a stealth check.
Do you want a perception with disadvantage?
Yes. And then you start flipping through the pages, Silvis.
Yeah, just more.
You start reading through and finding measurements. Like, basically, if you ever look through a medical student's journal when they're trying to calculate the dosage for a vaccine, it's something similar with different types of blood, minerals, and alkalic mixtures getting in with how much of a soul and basically what type of soul is going to do what, depending on how gentle and how violent the soul was.
I'm going to let Silvis handle the book thing with the
Alright.
imps for a moment, and I'm going to go over to the chest that did not react when I
Okay.
tapped it.
Do you go to open it?
Yes.
Okay. The moment you go to open it, you notice there's a lock, and you go to kind of touch the lock and grab it, and give me a con save. As the moment you touch the lock, you feel a small prick on the backside of your finger.
Con save is 16.
Just barely made it. So you do not get poison for the hour, but you do take half. You do take half the poison damage. So that's 6 points of poison. As you start to pull back, you notice a little tiny bead of blood where you got poked. And you bring up the lock and you look on the backside. You see a tiny barb that's been placed there with
Clever
another
bastard.
little drop of blood that drops off.
Can I try to burn that lock?
Oh, you flick it and the
Okay.
little barb flicks off. It was like a very tiny adhesive,
Burn all the poison that's around
but
the
it
wound?
is locked.
Still locked. I'm going to acid check the lock.
Yeah, roll to hit with your spell attack modifier. See how finally you can drop this acid through the tumblers and the pins.
That would be a 17.
It's been a while since you've acid checked. It's been a while. You gotta ooze out just a tiny bit of acid, but it comes out as a quick, and you're like, whoa! And it fills up the lock, and then you just hear a bunch of, and you see the latch go loose, but then the acid starts pouring onto the floor and drips onto the side of the chest and begins burning the wood a bit, but it's unlocked. Just trying to get the rest of the lock off. You might touch some acid.
I'm gonna dispel magic on the acid.
As you hear the acid splash and you hear the lock in the wood burn and you notice oh shit look on Faulkner's face, and he kind of has a aha moment and he gestures his fingers towards the acid and nothing happens and there's a fuck look on his face.
And I shout out, quick, does anyone have something that's alkalinic that would neutralize the acid?
And the moment you say that word, everyone else looks at you besides Silvis, like, what? And then Silvis, remembering to all of his teachings from Flora, is like, give me a history check.
More like pocket milk or pocket alkaline substance.
History.
Alright, so it's a 6.
6. Alkaline what? Who now? By now, the acid's fully absorbed into things and is really no longer a threat. You just gotta avoid that little puddle there on the floor that's slowly eating at the wood, but that's it.
Never mind on the alkaline, guys, as I go investigate the
This
chest.
took way longer than it should have as you take the lock off and you look into the chest and see nothing.
Fuck!
I'm gonna just go over to it and just like reach my hand.
Yeah, I was thinking
You
the same
reach your
thing.
hand in there.
Do I feel it?
It's weird. You kind of start reaching towards the bottom, and it just looks like it's maybe 2 feet deep, but your arm goes 2.5,
This all start going.
3
Fuck.
feet, and yet the bottom never. It's like the bottom constantly stretches out when you start reaching into it.
I fucking.
Something
After I see him
fine.
do that, come out. I'm just like yank him out.
You lift up the chest,
I yank
nothing
him
on
out
the
to make
ground.
Sure. Okay, I just yank. I made sure to pull him
The
out
bottom
and
of
then
this
flip it.
chest is like 2 feet deep.
Alright. I made sure to flip it. That's what I was
You
doing.
flip it,
Yeah, yeah. I was
you
like,
start shaking it.
yeah, it's like nothing moves.
You
no
see
sounds.
a bunch of random things fall out. Whether it's vials and bottles of some sort of alchemy-based ingredients, natural herbs, natural poisons. You see some odd body parts, some tiny limbs, tiny joints, some preserved fingers and bones.
Do they look like they
And you
belong?
have one jar that falls out and shatters onto the ground as you see what was encased inside of it, a blackened necrotic hand.
Don't touch the hand.
What was your stealth check, Rex?
9.
9? What was your...
17. With the
You hear them,
disadvantage.
but I figure you're trying to keep your eyes closed and just trying to ignore it, waiting for the silence to come back so you can go back to sleep. And the moment the silence starts coming back, you definitely hear some acid splash shenanigans. And then it's quiet for like 3 seconds. Then you hear a bunch of clink clang of shit falling down on the floor. And then glass break and shatter. And then you guys do also notice
Oh, if you're
several
not telling me to
vials.
stop, I'm gonna keep stacking. it, by the
Several
way.
vials fall out as every one of them shatter. And you see familiar reddish liquid spill out onto the ground.
Of the chest.
Mhm.
Everything starts shattering.
But you just got this pile of a bunch of bronze coins, some gold coins, some weird kind of bronze-like silver coins that start reflecting a green when the light hits them.
For like inventory purposes, is there anything we can ascertain and pick up that we can put in our inventory at the moment?
Depends what you guys want to look at.
All of it?
I'm still in the book. I'm gonna kind of like.
I was just gonna say, as like glass started to fall, I would have stopped it and then like went somewhere easier to like let the shit fall out.
Chris,
there
can you
anything?
stop stacking books, please?
Fine.
Yeah, I want to close the book just
Alright.
real quick. Be like, be right back to I guess George.
It's with the book.
Yeah, okay.
A lot of stuff.
Stack
Some
the books
guy
that George
named.
has.
Okay.
There's a name in here for.
You see him start floating
Sabaye.
books over to Grey Axe.
Yes, Sabaye is mentioned. Did it
Yeah,
mention
a
anything
whole lot.
specific about Sabaye?
There's a whole bunch of stuff in here.
You do notice one of the imps starts
About.
trying to check out the hand that's there on the ground.
Don't
Starts,
Yeah, I definitely kick him.
I'm not
Like,
gonna touch it. It's just something evil about this.
Can I look at the hand and ascertain?
I don't
Give
think
me
you
a
can
con check.
see it around the mountain.
Are you
of
waking
books
back
around
up?
you.
Yeah, I got tired. All of that, yeah, I'm done.
After
trying
waking
to
up
sleep.
and leaning up and looking over this pile of shit with your fleeting glance, give me a quick con check.
It's 12.
Nope.
So
Faulkner,
book-
since you were looking at that too, give
Yeah,
me a
I'm
con check.
Grex, put these books away.
14
them.
plus. I think
I
6.
don't want all of them.
Yeah, on that 20.
On that 20.
Grex, just put the books back.
You wanted the books. You're
I
keeping
didn't.
The books.
I was gonna pick the books.
Well, I picked them for you.
Shush.
Silvis,
Stop bickering.
he's trying to
I
stab
don't
me.
care. there's a book here with some important stuff in it that has stuff from, I guess, what he remembers.
Komori,
I closed
the
it.
hand.
George is helping me stack books.
Do you remember anything referencing the hand of Vecna?
Can I make a history check now with
Just a straight one.
just a straight one? Great. It's the same bonus as before. That's 17 plus 5, 22.
Yeah, you've heard about it before. Apparently, long ago, when Vecna got his clutches on the material plane and received a physical vessel on his ascent to godhood, before he was driven back past the divine gates and sent down into the abyss, two things were removed from him. His hands and one of his eyes were ripped out. You know, these are very powerful evil relics that in the wrong hands do a lot of bad shit.
What about the right hands?
I then shortened
much
my
psychic
staff
damage
to the
does he get?
size of a fucking golf club, and then I punt that bitch right into the fire.
You want to leave the magical shit
Can
to
we-
like the magical people
Like,
man?
not destroy things that could possibly
If that,
release.
like,
I
Release-
am a god.
Don't
In
give
your-
a shit.
So this, are
That,
you, the
that might
magical
have been
shit to them.
stupid. You might release some.
While his son boots it into the fire, you notice as it begins to sit there in the flame starts to crack and get this greenish glow as laughter begins to pour from it.
Please let's not do that.
I
Everyone
have
make
better
a
against
wisdom saving throw
accidents.
as the whispers start to build and start to make your eardrums almost sting and your brain seems to shake. So,
No, that was
wisdom saving throws for everyone?
9.
9, fail,
Normally destroy the fucked up shit.
pass,
23.
pass,
11.
fail.
I got like, hold up with mine. It's +2, right?
3.
3.
Same.
20.
What'd you get?
Oh,
Oh, I had to do it too?
Yeah.
What is it? Wisdom?
Got 22.
Ugh.
You're about to
no,
have to sleep too.
it would have been a non-natural 20 then. Because
Okay, yeah. So, Faulkner, Komori, you guys fail.
yeah, I'm gonna use a lot. I rolled a 2. That's a lot better.
Oh,
That
that's
is
kind of fully
a
understand what this is.
19.
19.
Yes.
So for those of you that passed, you take half damage. Those that failed, you take full damage, and you are unconscious.
What type of damage is it?
Force. That's 22 points of force damage. So for those of you that took half, 11. But for those of you that failed to save, you are unconscious. As you see Faulkner and Komori hear this, their eyes start rolling back into their skull, and they drop to their knees before falling forward onto their face.
This doesn't
She was just
trigger
bitching about
feathers,
sleeping.
Right? Okay, good.
true. I
Now
just,
she can get her sleep.
for the next things.
Well,
because
roll me a percentile die.
we
Ah.
have.
I rolled a 34.
Because I feel like if we destroy it, more shit like this is gonna happen.
No.
Give me a stealth
I'm going
check.
to sleep.
With a plus 10.
I'm going to sleep.
Okay. Do you want to pick the
I
die
mean,
for
that hurt
this?
a little bit, but
Yeah.
is the hand gone?
Actually,
Is it
what's your
still
stealth
there? What was I-
modifier? Because Komori was
Well,
already heading
it's
towards the
gone.
fire to grab it.
Plus 2.
Yeah.
You guys notice as
I'm down with
Faulkner
it. I'm just
drops
saying,
down to his
he was
knees
trying to fucking fuck
and drops
with
face
it.
first
So,
towards them
it was
before.
already an idea to get
Komori was
sounds
walking
like.
over towards the fire to start getting the hand out. And she walks over just inches before the fire, falls unconscious. And you all are standing there
I'm
looking around, and as everyone looks over at Faulkner to see what happened with him, you notice Komori head first in the fire as the jaw detached a bit, extended, and starts devouring the hand.
Pole, face, now. Before it even closes. I'm like in the fire. I don't give a fuck right now. Like,
You're like
fuck her
trying to
in her
wrestle
life.
with the dog, like, what are you got?
No. I mean, like, you know, if your dog goes to bite something and instead you grab the bottom of their fucking jaw. I'm trying to do that, but more or less
Make a
punch
dex
it
check.
off her face.
Can I pull her whole body out of the flames?
I feel like
dog
away.
Maury likes to fall
Let's see
in
what
the
this
fire.
dex is looking like.
A face
That's
full of
just
fire.
a straight dex thing?
Yep.
Fuck it.
See if you can get there quick enough.
7.
7. Because when I say jaw detached, large enough to eat this hand in one
Oh,
bite.
yeah, yeah.
Talk
And
to
then
her.
you
The
all
pole
get
just-
there and yank her back as the pole hits. And you see the radiant green glow in her eyes. And then she's back to unconscious.
probably shouldn't.
Nope.
The hand. In
Nope.
Fire.
I look at the fucking dragon. I'm like, bring her here now. Now.
What?
Is Neldre gone because you went to sleep? No.
No,
It's only when you
like-
go. Yeah, I
Neldre
grabbed Neldre.
flies over to her.
Nope. Bring her here now.
He's this big.
I don't
What do you
care.
mean by her?
He
you mean
knows what
Gamora
the
or
fuck
what?
I mean. She knows what the fuck I mean.
Neldre
as
starts
I'm looking
flailing
for
his
him.
tiny arms.
Do it, or you die.
He can't communicate with you.
He only needs to do one thing. Bring her here.
Telepathically.
3.
I would prefer she didn't kill my pets, as you see sitting on the desk behind.
Yeah, if that pet doesn't throw up that hand, I'm about to kill another one.
That one wasn't in my control.
I am going to kill her. Like, right now, she is asleep and is easy pickings for death. Spit it up, or I kill her.
You watch the blood red eyes form
Mine start fucking going red
and
too.
squint as she gives a sickening smile your way.
She's
You're gonna kill an innocent girl down the floor.
innocent. Let's not pretend that we're all good people here. She made a deal with you. There's no way she's innocent.
I mean, if you all are gonna sit idly by as another consciousness locked inside of your friend seemed to have taken over and did something against her own will and devoured an object and
well,
be tried and
I just
made
start
guilty
walking
for
over
that.
with the staff. I'm like, you got seconds.
What did that snap do?
Cool. I guess she's not stopping me. I'm like, you gonna let this happen to her? Bro?
I'm not gonna let anything happen to her.
And that is where we will end this week's episode of Dungeons on Third. Gamorre's life hangs in the balance between sun and the Queen of Air and Darkness. These catacombs hold many corpses. Sun gonna add another? We hope that you enjoyed this week's episode of Dungeons on Third. We would like to thank Michael Gelfi, Vesley in Studio, and Tabletop Audio for providing us with the ambient music that we use. Check back in next week to see what becomes of our warlock and what lies deeper within these catacombs. Until next time, Delvers.